Hey everybody, Chris here. So I'm getting ready for this weekend, taking the Formula Vee to Nelson Ledges, just for a Halloween regional race. Um, so far, there's only one other car registered, and he's a newer guy, and he's quite a bit off the pace. So it's not really a race; it's more of just a test weekend for me. So getting the car ready here. Um, it's basically ready. I just converted the front drums, well, actually all four drums, to wheel studs instead of the screw-in lug nuts. So that I had one lug nut that was starting to strip on one of these front drums, so I figured I would put wheel studs in finally after like 8 or 9 years and see if they make a difference with stripping the drums less, because I've had to go through like 3 or 4 drums because I keep stripping the left front for some reason. So I'm going to give the wheel studs a shot and see if they make it better. Um, Other than that, I'm just doing basic checks. I have a big long checklist I use, but I'm not really going through that this weekend. I'm just going to do the normal couple things I do between sessions at the track. I'm not really putting a whole lot of effort into it. It's mostly just fun and the testing things. So I'll show you what I'm testing here. I have a different rear spring that I've been meaning to test for years. I just never actually got around to testing it. So that's what I'm in the process of doing today. It's taking the old spring off right here, and I'm gonna put the new spring on, which is a little bit different spring rate. Somebody a couple years ago told me that different spring rate should be faster with this chassis. So I bought the spring, but I never actually put it on the car and tested it. So with nobody really registered for this Nelson Ledges race, I figured that was the perfect time to finally put this spring on and see how I like it compared to the spring I've been running for. The spring that's on there, I've been using it since I think the 2015 season. So 5 seasons now I've had the same spring rate. So I'm going to finally try something different and test some different stuff out while I'm there. Chris here. I'm at Nelson Ledges today for the Halloween Divisional Races with my Formula Vee. Just did qualifying one a couple hours ago, and now I'm sitting around waiting for the race this afternoon. I'm the only Formula Vee here, so there's not really much pressure. Also, I'm not really driving very hard. But I'm basically just supporting the region and testing a new rear spring that I've had in my parts bin for a few years that I've been wanting to test. So that's on the car. So far it feels really good. It was only like 35 degrees outside when we went on track this morning, so I was expecting everything to be really slippery, but actually it wasn't. The car actually had a ton of grip, which I was pretty surprised about. So far so good. I made another change for this afternoon. I'm just gonna play with the rebound and compression now that I have a different spring rate throughout the race this afternoon, and then 2 sessions tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, really uneventful. There's 2 Formula Enterprises, 2 Formula Fords, and a Formula Continental in my group. So I'm mostly just driving around, seeing how the car handles, and then watching my mirrors so I don't get run over by cars that are much faster. I think this is the first time in like probably 3 or 4 years that I've been on track with other cars like a Formula Enterprise that are significantly faster. We're running with the Challenge Cup, it's only Formula V's, and I'm usually one of the faster Formula V's. So this weekend I'm by far the slowest car in my class, which I'm not really used to. I've done that a lot in the past. Like 7 or 8 years ago I was at a regional here, and a Formula Atlantic was qualified right next to me. So I'm used to, in a way, being on track with cars that are much faster, but in the last couple of years I haven't really done it. So that's a little bit different, but it's kind of like riding a bike. You get used to it. After 1 or 2 laps you remember, oh yeah, I gotta watch the mirrors. It's really not a big deal. So that's about it. Really uneventful so far. It's warming up a little bit. Now it's like 45, so it's not freezing out like it was this morning. Car's all done. I'm just sitting here waiting. I might go out and watch some of the other races, which I usually never have time. I'm usually so busy during a race week, and I never have time to watch the other groups. So I might actually go watch some racing today, which should be fun. My wife's working. Hopefully she'll get here for the start of the race, and her and my son can see the race, and then we're gonna go do some Halloween stuff. So I guess one thing that I guess I could add is the car, it doesn't really feel like it has that much power right now. It just feels slow everywhere, and even coming out of the last corner it's like sputtering sort of. I don't know if anything's wrong, or it could just be that it's so cold. Like I said, when I was on track it was like 35 or 36 degrees outside. I don't know if I've ever been on track when it's that cold, ambient temperature. When I started the car up this morning, it ran like crap, and then I noticed the intake manifold was frozen, which I don't think I've ever seen the intake actually freeze on my car before. So that, it handles fine, but it's kind of down on power. But I think that might just be because it's so cold outside and the intake is still a little frozen. So we'll see this afternoon with it being like 10 degrees warmer out. We'll see if it feels like it's running better or not. Also, another thing is this is its fifth race weekend of the year, so that's kind of a lot of hours on the engine. So it could just be getting down on power just from using it too much. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, intake manifold freezing up is something I've heard about, but I've never actually experienced it until this weekend. So it just goes to tell you how cold it actually is here. As you can see, I'm wearing my skiing jacket, which I don't normally ever wear my skiing jacket. I wear it like 3 days out of the year. So the fact that I'm wearing it today I got my Penn State sweatshirt on, because Penn State, Ohio State play today, so I've got a sweatshirt on plus my skiing jacket. That tells you how cold it is outside. Normally I'd be out here in just a sweatshirt, not both. So, but we'll see how it goes this afternoon, if it runs better or not.
I'm trick-or-treating now.
Here, buddy. Okay, come on.
Well, good morning from Nelson Ledges. It's really weird, like half of the field is left overnight, it looks like, because it's supposed to be really crappy and cold and rainy today. This is definitely one of the like strangest race experiences I've ever been to. It's like deserted here right now. It's very weird. Going to a driver's meeting, they're probably going to try to get us to combine groups or go to shorter races or something. So it's a weird race weekend. Well, as you can see here, it's raining at Nelson Ledges. A whole bunch of people have bailed already on the weekend, but I have not. I'm gonna practice driving in the rain some more. So what I gotta do is put the rain setup on the car, which is basically just make it way softer than it normally is. So that's what I'm gonna do. Got my little Allen key. I'm gonna change the rebound first, change the compression, change the nitrogen pressure in the shocks, and put an air filter on, and then that's about it. Yesterday went all right. The front end feels loose again, but I think the spindles need to be rebuilt. Got a master cylinder that's leaking a little bit. The engine still feels like it's down on power. Basically, it's just the end of the year, and the car needs a lot of work to be rebuilt over the winter. So got a pretty good list of things to do today. I'm just gonna put a rain setup on and practice driving around for one session and then go home. Here's the start of the Spec Racer Ford race. So that pretty much wraps up the weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I did a little differently. Normally I just post my onboard race videos, but as you could see, I was the only car there, and there's only a couple other cars in another class, so the onboards would not have been very exciting at all. So that's why I didn't post them like I normally do, and I figured I'd try something different and make a video more like this. So yeah, weekend's over. Now I'm done with the Formula Vee for the year. As I talked about in the video, the engine feels a little weak, and the front spindles are kind of loose, and it's ready for work and winter work and stuff like that. So I'm probably gonna take a break for a while and not touch it, maybe even until like Christmas. I like to take a break sometimes. It's a lot of work. So maybe I'll make a video a little later saying what I plan on doing to it over the winter, but for right now, not a whole lot. Overall, it was a pretty successful weekend. I tried that different spring out, and honestly, it didn't really seem to make that much difference. It wasn't like a massive difference to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it on for next season and try it some more in some actual races. The only casualty for the weekend was my canopy. My canopy blew over on Sunday and ripped one of the legs out. So I had to. Nice thing though is it's an easy up, so you could buy replacement parts for them. So I already ordered the replacement part. I'll get that put away. So that's pretty much it. I'll wrap up the video now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Next up, I'll be working on the Corvette. I got a couple things I want to do to it here or there. It's supposed to be really nice this coming weekend, so I'm going to take it for a drive and enjoy it. And then I got a couple little things to do, and then I could start diving into that for the winter. So enjoy it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. If you liked it, go ahead, subscribe, check back for more stuff I'm going to do with both the Corvette and the race car over the winter. All right, see you.